I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Who am I, you ask? I was created in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the waste of a dying world. I was bestowed with an insurmountable task: bring peace after decades of death, persecution, and chaos. I am a grandchild of war, destined to help two camps which hate has fueled for far too long. Surprisingly, I am not alone. Have an odd bunch to make the road a little more bearable. Come with me, to bring hope where there was despair, respect where there was resentment, creativity where there was destruction. I am Pinocchio, and this is my story.
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
Hey, everybody, Dirk Manning here, the writer and creator of numerous comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Brave But Not Dead, all kinds of stuff. And I am super excited for you because you are getting to watch right now, right this moment, out of all the things we're really going to be doing, you're getting to enjoy and revel in the Madness Comic Network. And that is awesome. Thank you for being here.
Alrighty. All right, folks.
How are you guys doing today?
It's another Wednesday, and I got something different to show y'all today.
This is cool.
So, this is my version of the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
And I just finished this sculpt up maybe a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
And it was the publisher on the book that I'm working on right now called Oz, The Nightmare in Emerald.
Wow.
Commissioned this as a prototype collectible, and I've ran this after sculpting it, ran it in the 3D printers in my shop.
Wow.
And I am just testing out this today. I'm actually kind of doing two things at once. I'm working on getting the dry brush zenithal highlights on this before I start painting it with a lot of washes and layers. And then at the same time, I'm testing out a new camera setup, which will
you look good.
Let me do my facing camera as well as being able to show like drawings or while I'm painting or doing something like this. So
are you trying out join a hub content or something?
Say what?
Never mind. What is Zenithal? You were talking about Zenithal. I remember
Zenithal.
Yeah, Zenithal. I remember when you painted the Cthulhu figure.
Mm-hmm.
It was just amazing how you sprayed it with dark colors first.
Mm-hmm.
Then you put on green colors on that, and then you did the light colors. But now it seems like you're working in reverse. How come you're working?
No. It's actually the same process because with that big Cthulhu, it was the same thing.
Yeah,
you're doing a zenithal.
Okay,
and what that is, zenith, meaning an angle.
Right.
So in this case, I'm not using an airbrush to spray from an angle, but rather I'm brushing using a cheap makeup brush. These guys are the best things in the world for doing a zenithal dry brush like this.
What is your wife going to do when she discovers her makeup brush is gone?
She brought it to me.
Oh, even better. Now that's called a loyal wife.
So
that's cool.
So anyway, doing this, I will base the figure in black.
Okay.
Typically black, maybe a different super dark color. Like on Cthulhu, I think I did a very, very dark green.
Yes.
I wanted to still have a green cast to his shadows.
Yes.
So but it starts with basing the whole thing in a very dark color, black, or a dark, a dark version of what your dominant color is.
Yeah.
And then you can do this with an airbrush, or like right now I'm doing it with this makeup brush. And here, the reason I like the makeup brush is I can reach in here. I actually like the makeup brush better than the airbrush because with the airbrush, if I spray, I mean, it's a straight line from where I spray. So if I'm trying to get, the side of the head there, then it's going to pass across the hand, and that's really tough.
Okay.
But with this, I can just take this big fluffy brush and reach in here.
Right.
And just dab around on it. And you'll see how, the paint that's on here, I literally am dabbing the paint and drying it off on this paper towel. And then I will just, it's almost like dusting it.
It's fascinating, and I saw when you first started, it was completely gray. And already it looks like fascinating highlights. By the way, Jim O'Reilly says, hi there. And is that hand sculpted? And then we have Christopher Brown who asks, I just got here. Do you use Zenith or slap chop, whatever that means?
Yeah, I'm big proponent of the slap chop method of painting miniatures and figures. Because with doing slap chop, and for those who aren't familiar with what slap chop is.
No, I never heard that. I thought that was a type of food.
Yeah. Yes. Slap chop is very much what I'm doing here, where you base the whole thing in a very dark color.
Right.
And then you dry brush white over it. And that's going to make all of the raised areas pop away from the black. And you're essentially creating ambient occlusion shadows all over, which ambient occlusion is the phenomenon of, like, if you sit two objects, like if you look right here, there's a little bit of a shadow, not much of one because it's not catching huge direct light.
Right.
Ambient light around the room causes shadows in all kinds of different directions that are really tiny, and you can emulate that with dry brushing like this, because you're only picking up the higher little ridges of the surface.
Okay.
And so it leaves the areas that the paint can't get to remains that darker color.
Now, what keeps it from being overdone or oversaturating to where you get in? Because I noticed you're hitting it a lot. And
yeah, it's a gradual process.
Okay.
I mean, if you come in there and you have too much paint on your brush to do it, then you're going to have problems. Like you're going to end up blowing it out, too much color, too much white.
All right, so my buddy here, Jim O'Reilly. Jim O'Reilly is also a sculptor.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
And he does some amazing stuff.
Do you got any images of some of his stuff too? I mean, I'm not trying to rain on Leslie Parade, but oh wow! I just noticed the pipes in the back. It's like,
I'll tell you what I can do.
Yeah,
I can get Jim to drop a link to where you can go look at his stuff.
Oh wow!
If he would do that for us, Jim, can you drop a link in the chat? And Chris wanted to know, are standard paints or contrast speed paint? What are you going to do?
Right. Also, there's a question: hand or was this hand sculpted?
Hand sculpted, yeah.
This was sculpted digitally in using Maya and ZBrush.
Oh wow!
Okay.
So those are my go-tos for all my sculpting, and I use those for all kinds of stuff.
All right, so Chris has some stuff to say. Is it standard paints or contrast speed paint?
Yes.
Both.
Yeah.
I will come across it primarily with either contrast speed paints and washes.
Mm.
And then I'll use standard opaque paint to come back in at the very end and tighten up little details and things.
Okay.
And then he says he usually does the black, 2 shades of gray, and then a white, barely highlighting the top.
Can you move the face towards the camera? I want to see the dude's face.
Yeah, give me just a second.
Yeah.
He says, also, if you use beige or other colors for the slap chop, it gives really good contrast.
Oh, yeah.
But I have
I am not the best painter of figures these days because I have to do it one-handed. And that really sucks. Like right now, I'm having to reach up here and put that left hand up here, basically just using it like a damn paperweight because it's very limited right now in its movement.
For now.
So that vastly limits some of my capabilities, and I'm having to come up with wild ways to get around that.
All right, look, since Jim is being all
Life.
being all modest and shit,
We like Jim.
I'm out his
Yeah,
ass.
you can show some of his stuff, guys.
I'm out his ass anyway. Look at that guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Oh, is that
That's Jim O'Reilly?
Yeah, that's Jim O'Reilly.
is that sculpted out of green stuff?
Epoxy something or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That's the Bog Witch. He did that. He does a bunch of stuff.
Oh, nice.
It looks
Yeah,
like
that's super cool.
Come on, show me some. There's Frankie.
Damn.
Oh, hold on just a second. Hold on. I'm gonna step away for just a second.
Yeah.
Because you got a Frank.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna be very frank about this, right, Les?
Hold on.
Oh my God, this is great.
I'll be right back.
Come on, Jim. How far down I got to scroll to find other stuff? Jeez,
You know, I go to his
man.
photos. That's what you do. You don't scroll down. You go to his photos.
Invasive.
Photos.
Invasive.
Photos and then
Family and everything. That's invasive.
comics too.
Oh yes, he does everything. He's an amazing artist.
Wow.
See, I don't see no sculpts over here, dude. See,
I gotta find his rates. Maybe hire him for some horror comics down the line.
All right.
Jim is an
So-
amazing artist all the way around. Basically.
Here you go.
Okay, Les is trying to
I'll
show.
see you a
Hold
Frank
on.
with a Frank. Of course, this has
Hold
got all kinds of screw ups on the paint right now because it's not
Oh,
fully painted by any stretch. But I think my little light here might be just too bright for the screen.
yeah, it is blowing it out.
That getting better?
Yes. Oh wow, look at that. He looks like a zombie. Oh, he's cool. Now he looks like the Hulk.
And then, hold on, let's sit him over here. What would he be without her?
Whoa. She's hot. That's cool. I love the flame here. You know, the shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jim says he loves it. So apparently we are mutual fans of each other.
That is very cool. Let me sit this over here in the basket.
All right.
I always wanted to get into traditional sculpting, but just honestly just never had the really the time to dedicate to it.
Would you say
Little Ben Grimm,
Yeah.
Grimm. right
Just,
there?
it's a cigar and then it's perfect.
Oh, nice.
What
Right.
else do we got? What
Wait,
else do we got?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Go back to
yeah.
Youngblood.
What?
There was like a Youngblood thing. Hold on. I want to check something out real quick. Go down slightly, just slightly, just slightly. Yes, he has feet. There's actual feet on the character. It must be drawn by somebody else. Or
Yeah.
Liefeld.
They're all right. They're all right.
Yeah, Liefeld paid somebody to draw feet.
Liefeld.
There's
So
one
wait,
for
he
you.
starts up with a tinfoil?
There's one for you
Yeah,
guys.
that's usually what you're going to have for armatures under traditional sculpts like that.
Right.
You're going to have wire, and
Yeah.
then you're going to have balls of aluminum foil balled up and used to shape it, and you start slapping the clay on that.
Oh my God.
Mhm. Yoda.
Oh, that Yoda is damn nice, dude.
Yes. Go the
Yeah.
combination. Flow into the water and Jedi.
Let's see, Jim O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Mr. Jim, you should
Friend Les.
you should get in touch with me, dude. I'd love to hang out and talk sometime.
There's a Skeletor for you. There's a Skeletor for. Look, this dude's. I try to tell people, man. It's like we have some people in the madness that are beyond amazing artists.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim O'Reilly's one of those guys.
And
He
then
will
you have
he will never ever give himself that kind of credit, but he is one of the most amazing artists I've seen.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So then why am I here?
Look at that. Look at that. Look at
Wow.
that. Look at the chains around his waist, everything. Look at that. That is some detailed sculpt right there, guys.
Amazing.
That is damn nice.
And he did a Spawn too that was fucking badass. That's what I'm trying to find is his Spawn.
Now, does he oh wait, go back up. There's a Frankenstein.
No, that's not his. That's Shiftlet Brothers.
Okay. It still looks cool.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to find his
Does he
Spawn.
make molds
Spawn
for this?
was
They just
so
want-
fucking badass.
Do you
Yeah, I
know?
like Hellboy, Jim, but Jesus. Oh, there's one for you. Ivan the Corpse.
Oh wow, that's great.
Backpack. That's riding him right there.
Ivan the Wonderful Corpse.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's kind of a cool style for him.
There's your Frankie, bro.
Yeah.
There's your Frankie.
Nice.
That's great. Yeah, we got to meet somehow someday.
Oh, he comes out to the show sometimes.
Yeah.
Not near enough, but he shows up once in a while.
Damn.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh.
Okay, we got his. Oh man, that is so cool.
I still ain't even found the one I want to show you. Damn it.
Yeah,
Another one.
we're having fun.
That's a Shefflet Brothers right there. That's not you.
Oh my god, that's cool.
Yeah, the Shiflet Brothers stuff is off the hook.
Oh, the Hulk.
They
Yeah.
definitely set a standard.
I just love how Hulk is like the ultimate berserker, and I really loved how the Hulk was in the older days before they did the Banner has split personality, Banner has daddy problems, Banner has this problem. Where before he was this cool scientist, had a hot babe, she was all sharp and clever, and then he paid the ultimate price to try to save somebody.
Oh, where'd it go? Come on. That's not cool. If I click on the link, I want to see what I clicked on. Damn it.
Yeah.
Come on. Where are you? See, it's on. He's got it right here. It's right here. This Spawn right here on eBay, but there's no picture there. Where's some real pictures? Damn it, Jim.
Earthworm, Jim. Oh wait, what is that called?
There it is.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes. Wow. Man, McFarlane, eat your heart out.
Look at that shit.
McFarlane's crying.
Mm-hmm. There you go. You can email him right there, guys, if you want to.
What's amazing is Les has this over the top amazing skill. I mean, it is to me beyond control. I am pleasantly intimidated by it. And then we have Jim. Again, these skills are pleasantly intimidating. Which and this is what I love about this media that we're involved with is we go beyond the logic. We go beyond reality, and seeing these things in 3D, just is so enjoyably over the top. It's inspiring, and this is why I love art so much. Les is I'll be blunt. I'm a fan of your art, Les. I have to admit it.
Yeah. That's okay. I forgive you.
Okay. But if we could zoom in on Les's art, I want to see the new stuff.
That's what I'm doing. I'm pulling it now, Jim. We gave you your love. You're out.
Yeah, Jim, if you're listening, and if you get a camera set up sometime, I'd love to have you on.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I have to send him a better camera, bro. His camera, the resolution on it is so poor.
He can use his phone.
I have an extra camera. I just haven't.
Where does he live? I'll just drive there and use my camera.
But yeah, he comes out to the show sometimes.
Okay. Where does he live?
The Sunday show, the draw stream.
Okay.
He comes out to that sometimes.
Wow. Now, are you using a purple color?
Yeah. And I'm going to do something that's going to be kind of wild looking here.
Okay, I want to see this.
I'm going to take.
Oh, I'm excited.
So this is Army Painter Speed Paint.
Wait.
Hive Dweller Purple.
Yes.
And I'm literally just going to drip this in a bunch of places in here.
Yeah.
And then taking a brush that's kind of wetted down,
Right.
spread that around. You notice I'm doing this on the under part here where his ground shadows would fall.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm going to get a lot more water on here and just use that to spread that out as a wash.
Yeah.
I may end up having to re-dry brush a little bit of white in here to pick up more of the bricks and stuff in the end, but that's okay.
Yes.
Because that purple is a much better color for shadows.
That's what one of the Hildebrandt brother, the one who passed, I got to meet him fortunately at a convention, and he told me that his secret for shadow is to never use black.
Yeah.
And that was like a boom epiphany.
Yeah, my boy Nathan, young man who does a lot of colors for me, who I've kind of helped train him up. Nathan, one of the first things I told him when he started doing stuff with me was, never, ever use black. Like, I mean, you can, but it's I don't recommend it.
Yeah. It's like if I'm doing something quick, what I'll do is I'll do a rough painting in black, and then I'll do a Gaussian blur, and then a few other tricks, but I'm not a colorist.
Yeah,
I'm a cartoonist.
I would go the absolute opposite, because like now for figure painting like this, I'm basically doing a version of a slap chop where I'm starting with the absolute shadows and building upward through a zenithal highlight.
Right.
But if I'm actually painting, I will never, ever, ever start off with a dark color.
Wow.
Never. Because as you put more color onto a piece, you're going to end up, the more color that's there, the more it builds up, and the darker it's going to start to seem, the darker it's going to get. And if you already start with something super dark, then you're blowing out your ability to see what your values are becoming. So, it absolutely ruins you.
Yeah.
So it's I think always better to work from light to dark.
Okay. So you do the opposite. You start from the light, and then you add the dark instead of starting from dark and going to light.
Well, when I'm drawing, if I'm doing a painting,
right?
By the time I get to the point where I'm doing colors, I've already designed into the artwork where the shadows are going to fall, and I've probably drawn their shape, maybe even sketched them in a little bit.
Okay.
And something that I like doing quite a bit is finishing out like the beginnings of a painting with pencils and things like that, so that I get kind of a grayscale down for the actual drawing. But I will intentionally not go very hard with that, so that it doesn't have fully committed shadows out of that. Okay. Because the thing is, the darker you go, you're committed, and you really don't want to have to try and back that up to something light after you've gone dark.
Okay.
That's how you end up with stuff that looks like mud.
Jim wants to know, how do you like the Army Painter paints?
Oh, Army, my opinion for doing this stuff, Army Painter is the best.
Okay.
Period.
Wow. I thought they were only for Army men.
I thought it was only like camo colors.
Oh no, the Army Painter Company, they have a massive line of paints and different formulas of paint, so that like it's not even about the colors. Okay.
Right.
A lot of times with this kind of paint and what you're doing with this, like this stuff right here, where this is called speed paint.
Yeah.
A speed paint is like a wash, but not as thin. So basically, like a wash is when you've diluted that paint down with water and maybe other solutions, so that it ends up able to flow on the surface. Now, Army Painter speed paints are formulated out of the bottle so that, like, if I put a little drop right here, you see how it spreads?
Yeah.
Well, it's got basically I think they use like a detergent in it that causes it to flow
right
a very specific way, so that it will tend to run off of high areas and into recesses.
So it's viscous like oil. I don't think they use detergent because it's with bubbling.
Well, there is God, I can't remember the name of the channel. There are a bunch of different interesting YouTube channels about this. There's one guy who is an actual chemist.
Yeah.
Who gets into the chemical makeup of these paints and lays out all kinds of stuff. Like he actually will take a type of paint that he likes and then research what it's made out of and show you how to make it at home.
Okay.
So, and most of the time from what I've seen, it ends up involving tiny amounts of dishwashing liquid.
Huh.
Because if you think about it, that dishwashing liquid holds its
viscosity.
The viscosity of it allows it to kind of form up. You know, what's the word for it? The surface tension of the fluid is higher.
Yes. Oh, I do have to leave because I do have that other commitment that happens at 11:30, a couple Wednesdays a month. So since we have had the time change, sometimes I will have to bow out. So I apologize.
That's all right.
Well,
good, dude.
Guys, thank you as always, and I'm going to check out.
All right, later.
See you, gentlemen.
Have a good
week. Do not go to commercial.
I will be surgerying this weekend.
Excellent.
This weekend, I'll be having surgery. I have no idea what kind of condition I'm going to be in next week. So, Les, I'll make sure we set your show up before we leave the studio, stuff like that for next week. So it's all set up there, easy to mess with. So, because my phone can't do anything from the hospital. I can't do anything. So, trying to make sure we get all the shows set up before anybody leaves the studio this week.
Gotcha.
And Charles, if you're still watching, we're going to need you next week just in case.
Yep.
That's one thing. I got that old cheapy ass phone, and I can't manipulate the StreamYard backstage and commercials and all that shit with this cheap ass phone. I can log in. I can come out here and talk. That's about it. You know, with my phone. So
I think I'm bumping my cameras here. So, like, you know, this is one of those times where, like, if my left hand were working, I'd be holding this and kind of turning it. And instead, I'm kind of having to compensate by, like, laying it down and stuff. And it's not optimal. You know, it's not what I want to do with it. But, you know, if there is one takeaway from this that I would say, you know, folks who've, you know, had an accident or something and, you know, found themselves disabled in some way, it's like, you can still do this stuff, you know? And I'm sure, you know, I've only been having to work with it like this for, you know, I haven't really done that many of these since having, you know, my issue come up. But, you know, I know that over time it'll get better. Like, both my issue will get better and the ways that I tweak things to be able to do this stuff will get better.
Ooh, that was a good one. You, sir, are a inspiration to anybody that faces some kind of life-changing disability, right?
Life-changing bullshit.
Look, when somebody comes up and ties your left arm to your side and puts one of them straight leg braces on your leg.
Mm-hmm.
Go try that out for a little while, people, and tell me how that works for you. You know,
I can tell you, it's gonna suck.
Yeah. He basically had to learn to walk again. He's had to learn to do a whole bunch of things again. And this man has no quit in him. That's why he's an inspiration to me. Look, he's over here one-handed doing all this stuff, guys. He created foot pedals to aid in his drawing and to aid, you know what I mean, like guitarists have, right? Foot pedals to aid in his ability to draw, take the place of what his left hand does. Crazy stuff, man. But this dude is so innovative because he has no quit in him. He's gonna keep doing what he does.
That's what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, it's like there are no problems, there's only solutions, right?
Yep. Just challenges to solve as creatively and effectively as you can.
Yes. That's why I love this dude right here, because he thinks the same way I do. You can't look at anything other than a speed bump that you're about to lay rubber across.
Yep.
You know?
My father would say when I was a kid, in that crazy sounding Eastern Kentucky way, he'd say, "Son, can't never could do nothing. Can always gets there first." And
see, look, here you go. Jim says, fantastic work. Frank Frazetta had to teach himself how to paint with his left hand after a stroke. After a what?
A stroke. Same thing I had. When they were putting me in the hospital, I was laughing as I could feel my left side going away. I was laughing, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Y'all don't realize I'm in good company."
And the funny thing is, Jim, is that he's sitting in the waiting room at the hospital with his tablet, and he was arting.
Yep, I was
as
working
his
on.
Left side was going away. He was working. He was working, dude.
As I could feel my left side drifting away, I was still doing page layouts for Homestead.
That's Homestead, the Dirk Manning book that Les drew. Yes.
Dirk, the Dirkinator.
Dirk. I get to see Dirk in a couple weeks, bro.
He's got all kinds of shit going on.
I get to see him at Grand Rapids here on the 16th. 10 days, Dirk. Be looking for you. And that's another thing, guys. I told you, I got surgery on Friday. I will have 8 days to get myself in good enough shape to walk a con. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be like, Mark, you got one of them carts I can drive around? That's Mark Hodges, the showrunner up there at Grand Rapids Comic Con. Good dude. We've interviewed him a few times on the network. Yeah, Jim says you're inspiring. Keep going, and that's what I said, Jim. It's like, dude blows me away, man. Just kills it.
I've drawn, last count was upwards of 450 pages of artwork since the stroke 19 months ago.
450 pages, guys.
Yep. I average anywhere from 3 to 5 pages a day. And you figure over the course of 19 months, that's, 10 months would be, let's say, 300 days. Another 9 months would be, let's just rounding out to make easy math. So 10 months would be 300 days. Another 9 months would be almost 300 days. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So yeah, it's been like 600 days. So, at an average of 3 to 5 pages a day, most days that I work, and then taking off weekends. Yeah. I've been keeping my pace, you know.
And doing a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this every now and then to change things up. It's like, that's what I like about Jim. It's like one time he'll show up, he'll be doing this, and then he'll show up, he'll be doing something else. That's why I send him a link to the draw stream every Sunday, because we love to have him out there. He has some cool shit.
I keep meaning to come, but it's like I work so much during the week on this stuff that by the time the weekend comes, and like coming up this weekend, I ain't gonna be around, folks, because this weekend it starts deer season down here. And I just got me a new pew pew set up, and literally yesterday I was ducking in and out of meetings, phone meetings and stuff, as I was going out and taking shots to sight in the scope. So, and that's another one of those things that's been a bit of a challenge, you know, because, you know, if I'm shooting, how am I shooting rifles one-handed? I built a little cradle for my rifles that snaps onto the boot of the camera boot, the thing that you attach cameras to, that you put on tripods and different, you know, kind of grips. So I can carry these tiny little camera tripods and things like that. Basically anything that you can do with a camera, I can pop one of my rifles onto it.
Nice.
Because I'll be damned if I'm not going to go hunting.
Because like I said, guys, this is one innovative dude, and you're not going to take away the things. I'm surprised he hasn't figured out a way to press chords on his guitar neck yet. But
I'm working on it. I am absolutely. I've got a few different thoughts on it, but frankly, I've been so busy with artwork that I haven't really been able to spend much time giving that the appropriate level of thought and actual trial and error. That's one of the things I'm hoping for next year, is that I can I really just want to take like a month sometime and spend that month where every day the only thing I do is pound away on figuring out a way that I can still play and getting something together with that.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, can you right now put an hour away a day just to work on your left hand? Do you still do that?
Oh, I'm. There isn't a day goes by that I don't work on that hand and the leg still some, because you know it's just what you got to do.
Because I don't care if it's Mary Had a Little Lamb. I can't wait till I hear you play something on guitar again.
That is the number one thing that I miss the most.
That's why I say that, man. It's like I want to remind you, don't forget your goal. I want to hear you play guitar again. You know.
Well, I have no doubt that it will happen. It's just a matter. It's not an if, it's a when.
Right.
So, you know, I won't let up until I have that. And even then I won't let up, because I'll just go back to working scales and practicing and doing all the crazy stuff that I want to do with it, you know?
Oh, there's so many fundamentals that'll help you get back into the field, you know.
And I was before this happened, I mean, I could absolutely shred, and I miss it.
You know, I was never great. I could play the bass. I was never great, but I learned to play guitar mathematically.
I can see that. If it hadn't been for music,
I learned the notes as numbers. You know what I mean? It was like, I learned the scales, the progressions as math formula, because I was pretty smart in math when I was a kid, you know. And when my friend went to teach me how to play guitar, he was like, "What are you more comfortable with, math or language?" And I was like, math. He said, all right, this will be easy. And he taught me how to play guitar in 3 days. You know, like I was playing decent songs in a couple days. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, there's a whole methodology you can use based on that stuff.
Yeah, as soon as I said mathematics, as soon as I said I'd rather learn through math, he was like, oh, this will be easy. He started writing shit down. He drew out some bars, you know what I mean, and started writing numbers. And he's like, you know, and he's like, this is this, and I was, oh, no way, is that easy, dude? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I can't do it now. I mean, if I picked up a bass now, there's probably like 3 songs I could play. That's about it.
I would say before I'm back on a guitar, I'll be on a bass, just because the size of the strings is a little easier. Like I have picked up, you know, I've sat and put my hands on the bass a few times now. Every once in a while, I will pick it up and, you know, sit there and get my fingers on it. But I mean, I have to literally take my left hand right now and take my right hand and manipulate these fingers, because like, can't even hardly see it here. Yeah, that's about all they'll move right now. So there's a lot of work to be done on that damn hand. It really, it's really upsetting to me when I stop too long to think about it. So I keep busy.
Right.
Keep busy and do what I got to do. God knows I've got enough to do.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm just looking forward to that day. I know that day's coming. And
it'll get here.
I'm like, man, you know, people when people are deprived of the things they love the most, it's the worst, man. It's like I can remember my stepdad, right? He had a quadruple bypass.
Ooh.
Right?
That's real.
They told him, you can't do this anymore. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. Basically, they told him you can go over there, sit in that chair and eat ice cream.
Yeah, that's basically what they were trying to set me up for. And I'm like, are you freaking crazy? You know, I think not.
And it ruined him. You know what I mean? It was like, dude was he was in his 50s, still playing softball, you know, still bowling, still do the things he loved to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they told him you can't do that no more. And it was like,
well,
you take away the things somebody loves, you take away the things they love the most. It's like, and it's not like penalty takeaway. It's not like prison, something like that. It's like you just can't do it anymore.
Oh yeah. No, it's it definitely will mess with you. It will just screw with your mind. And you know, it's the entire situation that I've dealt with this is just really bizarre for me. But you know, you can either accept it or not. And what's funny is in the damn hospital, they were like, "Oh, you know, you'll go through a process of acceptance," and I'm like, "The hell I will."
See, no, that's for people who give up. That's for quitters.
You know, it's like you can accept my dick as far as I'm concerned. I am not. You know, you have no idea who and what you're dealing with here.
I got too much to do to accept anything that you're selling. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's like with my stepdad, it's like they offered him more time, but no quality of life. You know, it's like, yeah, you can hang around more, but you can't do nothing you love anyway. You know, but you'll be here so your kids and your grandkids can watch you deteriorate, fade away. Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just.
I think I've washed over enough with this. I need to let it dry for a little bit. Keep bumping my little light right there. So the whole point of doing that purple is to help it wash into and really define some of the shadows and little cracks and crevices on the sculpt. Pardon me, I got the brush in my hand. I want to sound like that. So I want to make sure, see how just dabbing that in there and letting it run into the cracks helps delineate some of that. So then, of course, those bricks and things are going to end up getting painted kind of a gold. So let's go back under here. So I want to make sure that I don't completely lose all my highlights on this, but if I do, I can just dry brush back over it. So, because I definitely want that purple. I want the purple to show through just a touch, because I'm going to be dry brushing some browns and oranges and things over this to build up color for the ground there, and then the the yellows and golds for the brick.
It's a little light on that shoulder right there.
Now see where it's pooling up right here? I actually like that. I'm going to touch it just a little bit. But that pooling is bringing out some of the shape of that panel, and I really dig that. And then there's little things. It's almost like painting with watercolors, and I will let some of this stuff happen because those textures it creates will show through and will just bring out the metallic nature of this. Since I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm not going to be using metallics on this. I'm going to do just straight color to build up to get to a metallic look. And there's a term for that, and I can't remember it because brain farts. But yeah, I think this is going to be super sweet.
Ghost Pepper over on Pilled, he says he learned drums cavemanically.
Cavemanically, I like that. That's a good play on words, cavemanic.
Yeah, I like it too. The creative people we know. Amazon, what's up? I see Amazon.
That's a metallic look. And there's a term for that, and I can't remember it because, brain farts. But yeah, I think this is going to be super sweet.
Ghost Pepper over on Pilled, he says he
why is my voice coming back?
What happened? Pilled just like turned on the fucking mic all by itself. Like,
Word.
I didn't turn it
Word.
on here talking to you.
Word. Weird. All right. So I'm going to exercise a little restraint here and just let this dry. That's one of the things I don't like about it, because I'm such an impatient person that the whole waiting process really irritates me.
No, not you.
But yeah, I got to let this dry for a bit. Then the next thing I'll be hitting is the ground, then the bricks, and then I'll be dealing with him. And fortunately, I sculpted him with a lot of little surface details, and my 3D printers are pretty damn nice ones. And they get, very, very tight little details on things. So what that means is basically the more detail there is in the sculpt, the less work it is to paint it. Because you can, do so much more with dry brushing and washes. Makes my life much easier. And then, of course, there's, this other lovely tool, the wet palette. Wet palettes are important. And like, I don't know how anybody could stand to get into this stuff and not use a wet palette, because that Like I can put dabs of paint down on here on this. What it is, you've got a container and there's a tiny little bit of water in there and a little thin sponge. And it builds up moisture, and you have a piece of paper, like parchment paper, goes down there, and that's where your paint goes. But that paper pulls up that moisture and helps keep the paint fresh. So you can put dots of paint on there, do mixes and things, and then close it up. And I've had sometimes the stuff actually be good for like a day, where I just pop it back open and go right back to it. So, you know, it's a really useful thing. Whew. All right. Well, I think, God, I was planning on talking about the process and all that on this stuff, but, you know, it was kind of cool. We got Jim coming up, showing some stuff, and really happy with that stuff. And I'm going to sit here and try to fight this cramp I'm getting in my leg because, yeah.
You and Jim are very much the same as far as range of talents and talent. I mean, you guys both can draw like a motherfucker. You can both sculpt. You can both do all kinds of cool shit, right? I think you guys should definitely hook up. Definitely get to know each other.
I would dig that. It's nice every once in a while to meet, you know, folks who can hang with stuff and share a lot of different, you know, disciplines and so on, skills and whatnot.
He's done some amazing comic books. You've done some amazing comic books. You know, it's like, yeah, kindred spirits up in here.
This character right here, the book that this character is from, I am just in love with this book. I think it's going to be, well, there's one particular 2-page spread from this book that even though I drew it a couple of months ago, I'm like, I oftentimes keep it open, keep the portfolio it's in open and sitting next to me, so that at the corner of my eye, I see it. And I'm like, that's the bar now. It's the best. Not every new page you do, like, what's the way to put this? You always want to be improving.
Right.
But you hit periods where the level of improvement is like maybe a little bit each time. And sometimes you go for a while where you're like, okay, I'm here now, and this is the work I'm doing right now.
Right. And
then you take a jump. And something that I like doing is when I take a jump and I sit back and I'm like, oh shit, that's a new bar. That's the new bar. That's the new baseline. And I will take a piece, you know, that piece of work, and I'll keep it or a copy of it where I can see it as a reminder.
Yeah.
So that as I'm working, I don't let myself slack or fall back into maybe old habits or old decision making, things like that. And that whatever that new bar is, you know, it's like, okay, I see it. That's where we got to go.
See, and that's the way I look at it. Like kind of with the network, it's like we do something, we hit a plateau, we hang there for a minute, and somebody comes up with a new show, we do something different, boom, we hit a new plateau, we hang there for a minute, but we're never satisfied with the plateau that we're on.
There's a little homestead werewolf bust peeking.
It's Wolfie.
It was peeking out the corner over there.
It's Wolfie.
Yeah.
The werewolf.
Now that I've got a little better camera set up in here and more ability to do some interesting stuff with my cameras, I may do a new shop tour sometime, because I think folks might really get a kick out of a tour of the digs here. The studio is I love it. It's my favorite place on earth is to be in this shop every day.
I'm sure it's unique.
Oh yeah, and with all the sculpts, I mean, because there's like a whole rack of shelves across the room from here that nobody ever sees. I think there's like 12. How many shelves are on it? 12 or 15. They're kind of thin. They're for smaller stuff, like all the miniatures and stuff I've done. And that's just packed full of stuff. And then there's shelves behind me. It's got tons of stuff. Yeah, it's kind of wild, man. I always get a kick out of it when there was a local kid who had a friend. So this kid, let me I don't want to out anybody's identities and all this, but I run a D&D game as part of a charity,
right,
called Dice Alliance, and once a month I run this D&D game for these kids, and they love it. It's been going on. I've been running the game for over a year now, and it's great. And one of the kids, I mean, these kids, you know, it's we were there to give an outlet to kids who might not be in the greatest situations. And so this one kid comes in one day and he's acting kind of funny. And he says, you know, I've got a friend who was reading this book. And I'm probably getting the story all screwed up because I'm tired. But he's like, yeah, my friend showed me this book called Apocalypse Girl. Is that you? And I'm like, yeah, that's my book.
Yeah.
And this kid just lost his shit, man. It was hilarious. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, that book is badass. Blah, 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 blah. Says all this cool stuff and all that. And I know this kid doesn't have the money to buy it.
Right.
And don't anybody go thinking that I'm like some big, you know,
softy
who's like, you know, just give shit away and will let people play on me for that. Because I know that I am, you know, I know where my heart is.
Yeah,
but,
he ain't never sent me a book.
Ah, shit. Pay up, pops. Nah, but this kid, I just happened to have a loose copy of the book on me. And I mean, the kid it was funny. And so I pull out a copy of it, grab a pen, sign it, and I just hand it to him. And this kid about shit himself. And it was so wild.
You know, I don't think I've ever done this before, like, and been serious. But if you would do me a favor and sign a copy of Homestead and send it to Dirk and tell him that to give it to me at the con next week, that'd be so cool.
I will definitely see what I can come up with for that.
I mean, it's 10 days from now.
10 days?
Yeah. I don't expect you to do it.
I've actually got a big package of stuff that I have to send to Dirk that is all Homestead related. So I think I could probably make that happen.
That would be super cool. And I might have something to offer in return. I might. You never know.
Well, yeah, I think I can make that happen. Man, this stuff takes a minute to dry. That sucks. But yeah. I mean, it was really neat with the kids and all this stuff. And so, anywho,
when it comes to that kind of shit, I'm a kid too, bro.
Yeah.
Tell you. What can I tell you?
I am looking at the time, and I'd say it's about time for me to be heading off down the dusty trail, y'all.
A dusty trail. All right. So what are you working on right now? What's the next big thing coming out?
Let's see. The next. Oh, Lord. Well, a bit of a stylistic change for me on one thing. I'm actually doing another book with Rich Davis, and it's called Angel Hunter. So, and I'm about about 20 pages deep in the artwork for that. But it's the reason I say it's stylistically a departure for me is because it is and it isn't. It's got a huge influence of course, Bernie Wrightson, but that's kind of by way of, I'm not a big manga person.
Right.
But I do really love the manga Berserk.
Okay.
If you haven't checked it out, Berserk is baller, dude. It is violent. The artwork is off the hook. You can tell looking at it that the guy, and his name escapes me right now, but I have seen things where the guy actually talked about being inspired by Bernie Wrightson. So it's like Bernie stuff made it to Japan. Japanese guys were influenced by it. And now I'm kind of picking up and doing this project called Angel Hunter that we're dubbing it an American manga because it's kind of an homage artistically to Berserk, which is like the one manga that I absolutely think is worthwhile, like truly amazing. I like Berserk, and I like the works of Junji Ito. Junji Ito's stuff is some of the best. His manga are some of the best horror comics in 40 years. So, we've got this thing we're doing called Angel Hunter. And also one of the weird things about it is, like, unlike American comics, this is not going to be like single issues. We're not doing floppies with this. This is a giant graphic novel. And it will be, I think the first book to come out is going to be at least 72 pages. So, and I'm like 20 pages deep into it so far. That's a big thing that I'm currently involved in. Then there's also the book that this sculpt is from called Oz, the Nightmare in Emerald. And I've finished the first issue of that. So I've got the script for issue number 2 and should be starting work on that soon from the same publisher, which this publisher's, they're brand spanking new. I mean, I'm like, some of the stuff I'm doing for them will be some of their first books to come out. So the name of the publisher is Resolute Bliss. And I'm very excited by these guys. I mean, they've got good startup capital, it seems like, and it's made up of a couple of dudes who've been around the business for a very long time, and they know what they're doing. So I'm excited. I'm doing the Oz book, and then there's another book called Paradox, which they operated under a different name publishing back in the 90s for a while. And before they closed up shop, they got, I think, 3 issues of this series called Paradox out the door, which was like a more visceral, it's got a real Sandman sort of flavor to it with some of the high concept, weird, allegories for big themes and stuff. Anyway, they got 3 issues of that out the door, and they're republishing those 3 issues. And then the series is a 6-issue series. And they've got me to do the last 3. Well, actually, I finished out some stuff that was left over for issue 3 they wanted done. I worked on issue 3, and then I'm the one doing all of 4, 5, and 6. And then I did paintings for all the covers, all kinds of stuff like that. Oh, let's see. They also, if you remember back in the 90s, there was a horror anthology called Gasp. They're relaunching that, and the first issue of that is going to have a story from in the setting of Apocalypse Girl. It's a Mama Shotgun story, 6-pager that I did for that. What else? Let's see, I've still got the Elizabeth Bathory book that I'm doing for Charles's pub, because folks, who see, Mr. Chucklefuck on here on a regular basis, love Charles to death, may not realize Charles is actually a publisher.
Yeah.
And there's a book that I've been working on for him for quite some time that is a one-shot about Elizabeth Bathory. So that's in the works. And I recently started. Oh, geez. I recently, well, I shouldn't say started. I recently finished the first draft of the script for Apocalypse Girl Volume 2. And that's going to be fun. I probably won't start on that until sometime next year. And in the last week, I finally finished the last few pieces of artwork for my H.P. Lovecraft inspired tarot deck.
Now you see, people, you see how easy it is to get somebody to extend their show another 10 minutes. You just ask them to talk about themselves.
I've got that's easy to do, is because I've got so much stuff going on. Let's see. Coming up this weekend, I'm doing a 1-hour seminar and tabling at the this thing called McCrack Con, because we're in McCracken County, Kentucky, which is where the city of Paducah is at. So the Paducah Public Library is doing a little comic book show, and I'm going to be doing a speaking thing there and tabling and stuff like that. The charity that I mentioned earlier, Dice Alliance, we're also set up there with that. A bunch of stuff going on there. That's going to be fun this weekend. And then, God, oh my God, I'm so busy. Tomorrow we're taking a huge shipment of the contents of my shop, my studio, to the Paducah School of Art and Design, where their 1,200 square foot gallery is going to be given to me for a month.
Nice.
So I'll have my first public gallery showing starting the 14th of this month, and it'll run through December 12th. So if anybody is in the Southern Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri, St. Louis is, I think, maybe an hour or two away from Paducah. If you're anywhere within a good drive of Paducah, come on out and see the gallery. Okay. It's going to be wild.
You went and got my wheels turning. Can you do one of your shows from the gallery and show everybody the display and everything?
I could probably make that happen.
Okay, let's plan one of your shows while you got the gallery set up to do that. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure that we could do that.
Cool.
So, and also for folks who don't know, I recently signed with Malice Media Representation out of Austin, Texas. So they're an agency who represents actors and artists and writers. So I've got a deal with them where they are representing me and helping promote my intellectual properties, try and sell them to, license them for, games, film, whatever. They're also doing booking for me through a lot of the convention circuit. So next year, whew.
All right,
the other day we were talking, and it's looking like next year I'm going to be doing no fewer than 1 to 2 shows a month, probably about 2 shows a month minimum, and maybe more.
All right, just put Grand Rapids on the list.
We'll do that. I'll seriously pass that on over to them and get you to shoot me some information I can pass to them sometime. We'll make that.
Dirk can tell you all about it.
He
goes there every time, right? He goes there every year. But yeah, if you come up and table next to Dirk, that'd be cool as hell, man. I'd hang out with you guys all day.
Oh, that'd be great. Well, on that note, y'all.
Yeah.
We're going to sign off because it's time for me to get some lunch.
Yep. I'm going to play a whole bunch of trailers because we got a whole bunch of friends.
Cool.
Peace, everybody.
Next week, y'all.
when a series of shipping disasters points to a mysterious sea monster. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson leave the comfort of Baker Street and board a freighter where they encounter unexpected betrayal and come face to face with the enigmatic Captain Nemo and his submarine, the Nautilus. As they delve deeper into the case, they uncover a conspiracy involving a Russian Tsar with an airship that rains destruction on unsuspecting cities. With time running out and the world on the brink of war, the heroes must use all their skills and resources to stop a massive conspiracy and prevent global conflict. From Eisner-winning writer Mike Baron and illustrator Richard Bonk, dive into the depths of adventure and unravel the mysteries of the sea with the world's greatest detective in Leviathan. Order now at baroncomics.com.
Electric bolts from a stormy sky, leather wings of a dragon's flight, a psychic sword cuts through the night, a fiery heart standing ready to fight. Southern nights they rise and soar, God in the south, yeah, they're ready to roar. From the shadows to the shining lights, that they'll protect you day and night. Southern nights.
Little president in his sandbox play, build a tower, make it stay. Digging deep through the golden sand, building the future with your hands. Tiny suits and shiny shoes, making plans and making news. Friends all gather to join along, in the sandbox they all belong. Little president from that play, every day a brand new day. Learning, growing your own way, in the great big sandbox that is the USA. The USA. Share your dreams with everyone, sandbox fun under the sun. Big ideas taking flight, with Little Trump everything's bright. Dig a moat, build a wall, in the sandbox he stands so tall. Dreamer dream, builder build, Little Trump your heart's fulfilled. Little President Trump that play, every day a brand new day. Learning, growing your own way, in the great big sandbox that is the USA. Hooray, hooray, for the USA.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz
how to drive.
hands. Jazz hands and